My kids actually thought for many, many years that the TV is only there for football.
Thomas, it's a privilege to be here with you in a cold, wet, rainy Cobham.
Yeah.
There's not many people I would sit outside in the cold for, but you are definitely one of them. We're going to get to know you a little bit better. First off, with the amount of big games coming up, how do you keep the team focused? And it has to be such a high level of focus when you're playing at this level.
Yeah, it was not so easy actually because we had these 3 competitions. So normally it builds up, the tension builds up. So you go to quarterfinal, semi-final, then you go to final, and then the season ends. For us it was a bit tricky because we had these like almost cup situations in the league.
Yeah.
And suddenly you are in the cup semi-final, then you're back in the race to top 4, then you're suddenly in Europe in the quarterfinal, in knockout, first leg, second leg. So much different levels of concentration, of tension, that it was not always easy.
In your managerial career, have you taken kind of bits of your time in France, bits of your time in Germany, and kind of brought that into the culture and the team ethos here at Chelsea?
This game here in England is very, very pure, and the approach to it and what the people demand and what the players, what it brings out of the players, but what the players also demand from themselves is very pure, very physic. And this is actually pure fun to coach it. And I see it more or less as my obligation to adapt to it.
Are there any things that you've taken, like in terms of pre-match rituals? Like, you know, we see sometimes in tennis when Nadal, you know.
I have them.
Have you got a particular ritual pre-game?
Of course, I have a lot of them. I will never tell them because then I think they don't work anymore. But we all have them. The players have their rituals, and it's a hard battle
ritual?
Who goes out last.
Okay. People are at the
course,
door like
sneaking back in. Yeah, I saw everything. Wrong underwear. Wrong undershirt, wrong pair of sneakers, sure.
So let's say all of the pre-match rituals work, everyone, you know, one person's left last, the right person, you've done your thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what would it mean for you to win a European trophy with Chelsea, and how would you celebrate that?
When I first won a big trophy in Germany with a cup with Dortmund, it didn't change too much actually.
Okay.
I was so happy for the players in this moment. The next day we had this parade through the city. Then suddenly it was clear to me in this moment what it means to the people. I was so happy for them, and this was actually so satisfying to know, like, wow, you all wanted it so bad, and to give it to them. But a week later or so, it's
back to business.
Yeah, and that's a bit like the same. I hope and I think it will not have this immense influence if we win this biggest trophy that is there to win. It is, of course.
Yeah, it's hard not to get excited, not to overexcited.
Of course, we will get super excited if we do it. But 100%, I'm now already sure, after all these titles, also with Paris, that in the first friendly match next season, I will be 100% on for winning, and will not change my approach to it.
Off the pitch, you know, you're fairly new addition to the Premier League.
Yeah.
How do you relax outside of football?
It's easy to bring your work home, to bring your thoughts home, to even watch another game of your team, to get lost in.
The kids are asking,
thoughts.
why is there more football on the TV?
My kids actually thought for many, many years that the TV is only there for football. They were very surprised after many years.
The cartoons come on you.
Yeah, when there were some cartoons on there. What is happening here? But actually, to be with the kids is a huge help.
Yeah.
To like just do normal stuff, go in the garden, play frisbee, go play tennis with them, and it's a pretty calm life that I try to live outside of football.
And who would you say was your inspiration outside of football growing up? Like, who did you look up to?
Well, my father and my family. My father was, of course, the first inspiration. He was my coach throughout my first, until I was playing under 15. When then I changed the club, so he stayed my coach, but just outside the line.
Was there ever any other sport than football, or was it just football, man?
No, it was tennis and football actually. And when I had to make a decision.
How old was this when you had to make the decision?
15, I think, 15. So the game switched to Sunday. Tennis was, I think, on Sunday, so I had to make a decision.
Football day,
It was clear. It was
everyone knows that Sundays are for football,
clear,
no matter what. Huge summer of football coming up. You've got in your team, you look after some of the England boys, some of the Germany boys. How do you rate both those teams' chances? And if they came up against each other, what would happen?
England and Germany against it. Very, very tough one. But Germany has such a strong group, so
it's tough.
I mean,
yeah, it's the
if
group of
Germany
death.
goes
yeah.
out, you get a lot of trash
Yeah.
talk here.
I was about to say, yeah. How
Whoever
is there,
goes out, he needs to come back with a strong mindset.
yeah.
Because
is it building up in here?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
Do you see
course
there's a
it
little bit of talking between
There's
the boys?
a lot of talk going on, and there will be a lot of messages shared in between and in before. So yeah, after that, it will be big fun.